The world is mourning the untimely death of an American basketball superstar. Coming up, we'll have a look at how Texas Tech students are remembering the life of Kobe Bryant.
The Texas Tech campus received some negative press during the winter break after a racially motivated video made the rounds through social media. Find out how the Texas Tech campus is working to avoid future incidents next.
And the Texas Tech men's basketball team was the hottest ticket in the country this weekend as they took on the Kentucky Wildcats. But could the team turn that hype into a resume-building win? We'll have a look back at Tech versus Kentucky in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Haley Pratt.
And I'm Austin Seat. Fans around the world are in mourning today following the tragic news of a former NBA star's death.
That's right, Austin. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash yesterday morning just outside of Los Angeles. According to officials, Bryant and 8 others were traveling to Thousand Oaks, California for a youth basketball event at Bryant's Mamba Sports Academy. Bryant was accompanied by his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, who was scheduled to play in the event. All 9 occupants of the helicopter crash died. Bryant is best known for his 20-season career in the NBA. Bryant played for the Los Angeles Lakers all 20 seasons, and during that time, he was an 18-time All-Star, 15-time member of the All-NBA team, 12-time member of the All-Defensive team, and the 2008 NBA MVP. Bryant also helped lead the Lakers to 5 NBA championships, and he won 2 gold medals while representing the United States in the 2008 and 2012 Summer Olympic Games. Based on his accomplishments, Bryant has been recognized by many analysts as one of the best basketball players of all time. Kobe Bryant was 41 years old. The news of Kobe Bryant's death has impacted millions of people around the world, including students here at Texas Tech. With Bryant retiring from the NBA in 2016, many current students grew up during his career in the NBA.
The passing of basketball legend Kobe Bryant brought an air of grief to the Tech campus today, with some mourning his death and others wearing his jersey to commemorate his achievements.
It's deeply hurting, at least personally for me, and I know many other people, but it's just tragic to hear. And he was a legend so early, so young, and he was supposed to start the next chapter of his life.
I think it's just like literally the saddest thing. He was just such like an inspiration to a lot of people, but more so like he lost his daughter, like he left his wife and their other kids. Like, that's heartbreaking.
I'm more sad because like he has other daughters at home and like a wife, and like for 2 people that you really love to be gone, like I think that's so sad.
I mean, Kobe Bryant was obviously a legend. Like, he was more than just a basketball player, you know. He's a big name, especially like even here in West Texas. So I think it's really affected the whole campus, honestly.
I never really watched a whole lot of basketball, but it is really sad to see other people's reactions about like how he had left such an impact on them, because I could relate too, because if one of my favorite artists, like music, would pass away, it would be pretty crushing to hear that too.
Honestly, I'm pretty hurt by it. Like I know me and my family grew up watching basketball, especially me and my dad. It's like one of his favorite players and stuff like that. And I guess everybody's seen it with like Twitter, you know, everybody screams Kobe as they're shooting. So I feel like there's a lot of sadness, but we also know that he was, you know, a great guy. He really gave back to his community. He really gave back to everyone around him. So I don't know how to feel about it. I'm just really sad. So
I think it kind of brings to light that famous people, I mean, other people too, bad things can happen to them too.
Along with Bryant, 8 others lost their lives, including a family with connections to Texas Tech. Earlier today, John, Carrie, and Alicia Altobelli were officially identified as victims of Sunday's crash. John Altobelli is the uncle of Bo Altobelli, who played baseball for the Red Raiders from 2010 to 2012. John was a baseball coach at Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa, California, and he was with the team for 27 seasons. Prior to coaching, John also played college baseball at the University of Houston. John's daughter, Alyssa, was on the same basketball team as Gianna Bryant. They were both scheduled to play in the Mamba Cup Series tournament yesterday, with Kobe serving as their coach.
In other news, Texas Tech officials have announced some changes and initiatives in the wake of a racially charged video that has made its way through social media last fall. Back in November, a Texas Tech student created a video that included racial slurs and images of the KKK. That video was then shared through an online chat used by the Texas Tech eSports organization. During the winter break, the video was brought to light and several students questioned the university's response to the incident. Since then, President Lawrence Skubanek has taken several steps to help come up with solutions to racial incidents on campus. Last week, Skubanek attended a special called meeting with the Black Student Association to address concerns and create a plan to help increase diversity awareness on campus. A follow-up video was released on Friday with Skubanek addressing the outcome of the meeting.
Among the key areas we will address are a review of policies and procedures, including those related to student organizations and behavioral expectations outlined in the Code of Student Conduct. We must do a better job of connecting students affected by acts of bias and racism with the appropriate university resources and support, such as the Campus Inclusion Resource Team. And we will enhance the training on diversity, equity, and inclusion to students, faculty, staff, and administration.
If you're aware of an incident or issue concerning discrimination or bias here on campus, you can find the Campus Inclusion Resource Team's website by visiting rise.ttu.edu and clicking on the CERT link at the top of the page.
With the spring semester underway, one campus group is already busy with a schedule of events to give students ways to escape the grind of classwork. On Thursday, the Student Activities Board held a sensory bottle event in the sub across from Copy Mail from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Students passing by were encouraged to stop and fill a plastic bottle with water, oil, food coloring, and other items to create a unique gift to help out students on and off the Tech campus.
People who have anxiety-inducing incidents or just have very panic tendencies, this is a way for them to actually feel more calm. So it's more of like a fidget spinner, but not really, a customizable fidget spinner, if you will.
Each of sensory bottles created during Thursday's events will be given to students at Ramirez Elementary, as well as Tech students through Student Disability Services. The Sensory Bottles event was only one of several service events held each semester by SAB. For a full list of SAB's fun and free events for the spring, visit sab.ttu.edu, and you can also pick up a wall calendar at any of SAB's events.
The sensory bottle activity wasn't the only thing on SAB's schedule last week. Students also had the chance to find some new options to decorate their dorm or apartment during a week-long event. Starting last Tuesday, SAB hosted a company called Poster Invasion for a 4-day poster sale. The sale was held each day in the sub ballroom from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it was open to the campus community. The sale featured a variety of prints, including original art, movie posters, photo collages, and much more. Most of the posters were available to view in large books featuring multiple prints. Along with standard posters, the sale also included a cloth wall coverings, banners, and poster cards. Last week's poster sale wrapped up on Friday afternoon, but if you missed out on something you would like to hang up on your wall, just visit posterinvasion.com.
According to the calendar, it's still winter, but you wouldn't know that if you spent any time outside this weekend.
That's right, Austin. Temperatures climbed into the mid-60s on Saturday and Sunday, and we may see some of the warmest temperatures of the year so far this afternoon. But how long will the warmer weather continue? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in the studio with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, guys. Well, you are correct. We have been experiencing a bit of a warm snap here on the South Plains over the last few days, but sadly, at least for my sake, I do like the warm weather. That is not going to continue into the next few days, but that just means we should get out and enjoy this abundant sunshine while we still can. For today we climbed all the way up to around 71 degrees outside, partly cloudy this morning and warm temperatures with a west by southwesterly wind coming at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, though, it is going to start to drop down in temperature. We are going to be seeing a low of 37 degrees, windy and cold, and speaking of that wind, the wind is going to jump all the way up to 20 to 30 miles per hour, again coming from the west by southwest. So just be careful about that when it's outside. You tend to lose things when it's windy, and this wind should be continuing into tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, the South Plains does have a chance of precipitation as that wind comes in for tomorrow. Not really in Lubbock proper, where we only see an 18% chance of rain, but we will be seeing lighter conditions with rain out of Muleshul and Dimmitt, with our highest chances of rain happening out there to the east of us. So if you're going to be traveling to those areas, be careful, just because when it rains in the South Plains, it tends to flood a little bit just because we do not have proper drainage around here. But looking into tomorrow too, we should be seeing a little bit of more cool temperatures as the morning comes in. And for Dickens, we're only going to be having a low of 40 degrees, so not as cold as everyone was expecting, but still very chilly. And then for Lubbock, Texas proper, we're going to be seeing a low of 38 tomorrow. Our warm temperatures aren't going to climb up to the highs of today. I think that's mostly over for the week, but we should be seeing a high of 49 degrees for Lubbock proper. So, not that bad. It's still going to be a little bit warm outside, not terribly too chilly, but that'll be changing as the week goes in. For tomorrow morning, we can see that we're going to be experiencing a low of 25 degrees, so very chilly. It's probably because of all that cloud cover and that wind we'll be experiencing. A high of only 49 degrees and a northerly wind coming at 25 to 35 miles per hour. So again, those warnings about the wind, don't lose your hats out there. For Wednesday, the temperature is going to climb up a little bit, probably because we have a little bit more sunshine in the area, with a high of 55 and a low of 28 degrees, east by southeasterly wind coming at 10 to 15 miles per hour, so much more manageable. Now Thursday is the day that everyone has been asking me about over the last couple days. We will be seeing some cloudy cover as the wind rolls in that day from the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour, with a high of 46 and a low of 27. Now for that morning, we could be seeing some chances of freezing precipitation that day, and everyone always asks me, does that mean snow? Does that mean we're going to have the day off? I say always check with the university, and just remember, if the university doesn't say class is canceled, it's not canceled. It's not canceled. We still have to go to classes even if it's a little bit chilly and rainy outside. I know it's not fun walking across campus in that weather, but we're just going to have to make do with what we got. Remember, classes are not canceled until the university says so. I'm Madison Hartin for MCTV Weather. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Madison. One of the hottest tickets in sports this weekend just happened to be here on campus. The United Supermarkets Arena played the host to the Red Raiders and Kentucky Wildcats in one of the most hyped games on Tech's schedule this year. Texas Tech welcomed the Wildcats to Lubbock to set up a top 25 matchup, and only the second time the Wildcats made the trip to Lubbock. The game went back and forth from the opening buzzer, with the Red Raiders heading into halftime trailing by only 2 to the Wildcats. The second half would continue to be a nail-biter until Kentucky went up by 10 points midway through the period. But with 6 minutes left in regulation, Texas Tech got things under control and went on to a 12-3 run to tie up to the game at 63. Each team traded free throws, and that led to overtime. In overtime, Kentucky ran the score up to 72 in the first 2 minutes, but the Red Raiders defense held it and allowed the team to tie things up at 74. Tech had one last chance to win with 30 seconds left in overtime, but a missed shot and rebound allowed Kentucky to head down the floor and set up a foul that would lead the Wildcats' last 2 game-winning free throws. Kentucky finished off a thrilling night with a final score of 76-74. Saturday's loss not only continued a 2-game losing streak for the Red Raiders, but it also ended a 54-game non-conference home winning streak that had been in place since December of 2013. Saturday's last-second defeat, coupled with a loss to TCU last Tuesday, officially dropped the Red Raiders out of the top 25 polls this week. Tech's next opponent is number 11 ranked West Virginia at the USA on Wednesday. Tip-off for the Red Raiders and the Mountaineers is set for 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, Tech faces its next big challenge with a road trip to face the number 3 ranked Kansas Jayhawks in Lawrence at 3 p.m. A win against one or both teams would do the Red Raiders some good as they head into the second half of conference play. You can catch both games on the networks of ESPN.
On the other side of the hardwood, the Lady Raider basketball team is continuing its run through a tough conference schedule. On Saturday, Tech hit the road to meet up with the number 1 ranked Baylor Bears in Waco. Tech trailed the Bears throughout the game, but the Lady Raiders put up a fight in the fourth quarter, outscoring Baylor 23-13. Senior Brittany Brewer put up 10 of her team-high 24 points in the last 10 minutes of the game. Even with the comeback, the Lady Raiders were just not enough as Baylor took home the win 87-79. Next up, the Lady Raiders return home to take on the Oklahoma State Cowgirls on Sunday in the USA. Tip-off is set for 3 p.m. and will be televised on Fox Sports Southwest.
So Austin, did you have a chance to check out the Texas Tech versus Kentucky game in person?
I did. I got one of those guaranteed tickets and I got a great seat to a fantastic game. I just wish Tech could pull it out.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen it in person. The lines were super long, but it's amazing to see how dedicated Texas Tech fans are. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.